Maybe a little bit scatterbrained, but I just realized that this weekend is Father's Day on the 16th of June. I think it's worldwide. Many countries celebrate Father's Day on the second Sunday of June. And this Father's Day, this month, I'm really, really missing my dad. I think so much of him and the kind of woman that he has made me become. I noticed that um, a woman's relationship with a man, largely to a very great extent, depends on the kind of relationship she had or has with her father. And so, if you had a very friendly, cordial relationship with your dad, it is very easy to read a man and to be very friendly to men, to trust. But if you had a strict dad, I think for me personally, it was um, looking for a softer side of a man when I was growing up in my relationship, or you grow up and you begin to resent the negative aspects of the relationship you had with your dad in a man. So, like in my case, I think I had that problem of being respectful or submissive, or I don't know. But there was that, if you understand, you know what I'm trying to say. Basically, you kind of project the anger that you have with your dad over to your husband or spouse. That happens a lot of time. But back to my dad and myself, I am my father's daughter in the sense that I'm a very heady person. Translation, I am very stubborn, is the word people would use. I'm very, very difficult to move when I'm convinced about doing something. We're passionate, and when we're passionate about something, we tend to be very tenacious. At the same time, we can be very, very open minded. And so, my father was a man who wanted his children and his wife also to have fair opportunities, equal opportunities. Um, as men, which is quite rare for most African men that grew up in his generation, where they were taught that the woman is kind of sort of inferior to the man, to the point that my father taught us um, self self worth as we were growing up, in the sense that he wanted us to pursue our dreams much more than wanting us to be in a relationship. And so we grew up with the mindset that we were not allowed to have relationships until we had done something for ourselves, which was in his own plan, having at least our first degrees. And so when I got to the dating age, I began to understand those nuances, of what my father was trying to protect us from, in the dating scene, where you would get men that would say, um, you're too tough for a woman. That is how it is described. And I think it's funny because I seem to be the easygoing type. I seem to be the nice type. I laugh very easily. I don't keep my defenses up for long when I meet people, as opposed to my other sibling who really knows how to keep her guard for a very long time. And so people, I think men at that time saw me as an easy target or an easy prey, easy to catch, only for them to discover that I wasn't easily persuaded to go into a relationship. And so the first time that happened was at the age of 16, and someone approached me, and no, sorry, I was around 17 thereabout. And this guy says to me, "Why your heart strong like man own?" That at that time I couldn't put the word on the feeling I felt. I was feminist, and feminism was not even a trend, but it was an insult to me, even though I couldn't verbalize it, because I felt, What do you mean that as a woman I don't have the right to my feelings, to my emotions? Oh, where do people get that? But as I grew older, went to college, I began to find out that that was the notion that a lot of men had and a lot of women were raised with. I saw that with my colleagues in school, and it was an eye opener to realize that my father never raised his girls to be nice or to be easy. We were not raised to be nice. My father would tell us biblically that if you didn't want to do something, it's better you didn't do it than to do it grumbling. And so I came from a home where both parents would have preferred you disobeyed than to obey grumbling. And um, that has really shaped me relationship wise with friends, with men, even with grown-ups, to say I don't really need to bend over just to please people. My mother has the gift of goodbyes. My mom will bear, but when she says she's done with you, she's done with you. And as I become an adult, I have become that person too. Life has taught me that sometimes you just need to burn the bridge, you know. And so, being Father's Day, I was just sitting down and thinking when people who watched me grow will say, "You are stubborn as your father. You are stubborn as your father." I began to think and see that stubbornness in me. It's funny that I've been thinking about that this week, and then I realized it's Father's Day, and I thought I should share that with you. What legacy did your father leave you? Did he teach you how to stand up for yourself? Did he teach you how to defend yourself in your marriage? My uncle also taught me that, I was blessed to have a wonderful uncle who always told me, you know what? You're a wife, you're going to be a wife, and your money is for you, and his money is for the house. So there's no shame in wanting to have a man's money. At the same time, a man providing for you does not mean he owns you, does not give him the right to control you. Those are the kind of fathers and uncle and father figures that I've had in my life. And so on today, the 16th of June, I want to say Happy Father's Day to all the father figures in my life. And Dad, I wish you happy Father's Day out there above in heaven, because you're a man who taught me the ways of the Lord. You gave me the confidence that I have, even though life tried to rob me of much of it, um, after you and mom went on to be with the Lord. So happy Father's Day to every man out there who is doing his best to leave a positive legacy in the lives of their children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, to our spiritual fathers. Happy Father's Day for giving us the ways and the words of the Lord. I'll see you in the next vlog or chat. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.